morning, everybody. Welcome to Year 4 Maths. It's Friday today. It is the last day of this half term. So after today, you'll have a week's holiday. We are going to be starting a new unit this morning. We'll come to that a little bit later. First job, though, we're going to start with our usual warm-up. As always, there are two written questions and two mental strategy questions. Try and get as close to answering these in 5 minutes as you can. Press pause when you're working and press play when you're ready to go through the answers. Okay, first question this morning, 300 times 6. Okay, 300 times 6. We are going to be thinking about, we're well used to this now, it's using and applying known multiplication facts. Remember, we're going to cover up the two zeros. Okay, our magic zeros, and that leaves us with 3 times 6. Well, 3 6s are 18. We then release those magic zeros to give us 1,800. Our second question this morning is again a question that we use known multiplication facts. So 420 divided by 60. Well, I've got here a 0 on both sides, so I could take out both of those zeros because it's on both sides. And that would leave me with 42 divided by 6 and an answer of 7. Our third question this morning is a bit trickier, and it's a mystery number. Take away 3,192 will equal 6,792. So I think what we need to think about doing here is rearranging the order of the sentence. Okay, it's a takeaway, so we know that the number is going to be bigger than that. Okay, and we know that whatever we take away from that number will leave us with 6,792. So what I'd be thinking about doing is adding these two digits together, or these two numbers together, sorry, not digits. And if I line them up in columns here, then we are away. Okay, so 2 plus 2 is 4, 9 plus 9 is 18, where we carry the 1, 7 plus 1 is 8, and 1 is 9, and then 6 plus 3 is 9. So our answer then will be 9,984. It is really important that you make sure that you understand what it is the question is asking you to do. And it does need you to rearrange and invert here, okay? So it is about finding what the biggest number would be in this equation. You might also notice that there are some numbers that are the same. So that's about doubling, really. Okay, so you could use that as a strategy. So double 2 is 4, double 9 is 18. Anything that helps you. Final question, bit simpler. 39 times 6. Method 1, well, we could use short multiplication. So 9 6s are 54, and then 6 3s are 18, and 5 is 23. We could partition if we wanted to. 39 then would become 30 and 9. 30 times 6 would be 180. We could use our known multiplication facts to help us with that, magic zeros. And 9 6s are 54. If we recombine, we'll get 234. Now, our learning intention this morning is to be able to measure surface area of a shape. And really, we've only got 2 star words this morning. I think it's the least we've had all year. They would be area and surface. The first thing we'd look at this morning is our in focus task, and it's asking us to compare how much of the surface of the photograph, how much surface the photograph covers with how much surface the square tile covers. So basically it's asking us how many of these squares will fit into this shape up here. Well, how many of these squares could we use to cover the picture? Okay, the surface of the photograph then is the amount of space that the photograph takes up. The surface area is how much space that the photograph takes up. And you can see that the squares that we had back here, we're using these squares, we could fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the surface of the photograph is 8 times, it covers 8 times the surface area of one of these tiles. So it covers, so 8 of these tiles will need to cover that picture. Now these are a little bit trickier, but it's asking us which figure covers more surface. So which of these shapes has a larger surface area? Okay, now one way we could do this would be to take squares this size here. And what I want to try and do is to see how many of these will fit into these shapes. How many of these will it take to cover the surface of the shape? So here, if I look at this then, for example, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can see that this shape here, okay, 5 of these squares will make up this shape. And what I'm going to then try and do is compare this shape with this one. So I'm going to do the same over here, hopefully. You can see that I'm gradually pulling the squares over. It's quite a cool tool, this actually. It's cloning a shape. Now, you can see I've now covered up both shapes. This shape has 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where this shape over here has 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So answering our question, which figure covers more surface? Well, it's this shape here. And we've proved that because we've got 6 squares here where we can only fit 5 on that shape there. And that is said to be its surface area. So the surface area of this shape is larger than the surface area of this shape. Okay, now it's your turn. I want you to have a little look at these shapes here, and I want you to try and make a best guess, an estimate. Which one do you think covers the most surface area? And how many of these squares do you think it would take to cover the surface area of each shape? Just by looking at them, just by having a little bit of a guess. Okay. Press pause while you're working and press play when you're ready to come back and listen. Okay then, so we're going to use our cloning tool again. Okay, so if I wanted to then, I could, nice and easy with this shape here, I could see, and hopefully all of you would have been able to tell me that this shape would take 2 of these squares. Okay, now we'll have a look at the L shape down here. And we can see that it takes 4 of those squares to cover the surface area of that shape. Now, the one problem I've got with this lovely cloning tool is that I cannot rotate it. I can't flip it. So I'm going to have to do what you've probably done and make a rough guess on this shape. And I think that if I'm going to guess, I think that this shape will also be 4. It's a square. It will also take 4 of these squares to cover its surface area. Okay, as we said, it's our last lesson of the half term today, so we tried to make it nice and simple and perhaps a little bit quicker than usual. I want you to now, for your independent learning this morning, please have a look at worksheet 1 on pages 103 and 104 of the workbook. It will need you to think about surface area and what we've been learning about during this lesson. Okay, so press pause now while you're ready to work. We're not going to run a plenary this morning. I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you very much for this half term. Okay, it's not been easy, and I think you're all doing a fabulous job at home. And I hope to see you soon as we can after half term. If we're not back, which it looks like we won't be back together on the 1st of June in our school, I will continue to set the maths for you, and you'll be able to access the learning from our website. Okay, take care then everybody, have a fabulous half term, and goodbye.